Hey everybody, in today's video what we are going to see is how we can create a swap-like functionality just like we have in Pancake Swap. So what we are going to use is we are going to use Pancake Swap smart contracts in order to have a functionality just like this. Like in this, we can select any token, right? And then we can swap with these tokens. And in order to create this swap-like functionality, we are going to see how to read or how to use Pancake Swap smart contracts. So just like we have a token here, right? We have selected this BUSD token and this WBNB token. And if I will change the BUSD token, I can get the number of WBNB token, which is equivalent of this number of BUSD token, right? So if you will see, I have selected 10 here and it is now calculating the number of WBNB token I will get when I will have 10 BUSD. And I can do the opposite as well, right? I can have WBNB token here and I can check how much equivalent of BUSD token I will get for this much amount of WBNB token. So this video will be a very helpful video because in this we will see how we can interact with the different smart contracts of Pancake Swap and how to use these different smart contracts in order to work for us. So now let's start with the coding part. So first of all, I will install or first of all I will do npm init --y so that I can have package.json. Okay. And now what I will do is I will do npm install ethers and I will be using 5th version of ether.js. Let's clear this all. And don't worry, it will not hamper our working with different Pancake Swap smart contracts. Okay, so there will nothing be a problem there. So first of all, I will create 3 files. One is ABI-info.js, pricefetch.js, or let me have quantity fetch. That would be a better term. Address list.js. Okay, so in this address list.js, we will have 3 contract addresses. Let me paste it here. Okay, so this is the router address. This is for the Pancake Swap smart contract, and I will tell you what is the use of it. Okay, this is the from address of the BUSD token, and this is the to address. When I'm saying from and to address, I'm saying that when we are going to convert this BUSD to WBNB. Okay, so this will be our first token and this will be our second token. So this is the BUSD address and this is the WBNB address. And how I got all these different addresses? So I got all these different addresses from BSC scan. I simply typed router Pancake Swap. So it provided me with this router smart contract address. As you can see, 0x10D43 and 0x10ED43. And make sure that you copy the correct address, otherwise it will not work. Okay. And let's say I want BUSD address. So I will simply type BUSD and wait for some time and then select BUSD from here. Okay, because if you are going to do BUSD and hit enter, it will not search for the BUSD token. So make sure that it is showing the BUSD token here. And from this, just select this one. So here you can see that this is the token contract address because BUSD is a token. You can simply copy it and you can again paste it here. In the same way, if you want for the WBNB or any other token, because we are using Pancake Swap, right? And Pancake Swap is based on that is BSC Smart Chain. So that's why all these token addresses will be present on the BSC Smart Chain only. So just go to BSC scan only, not to Ether scan, but to BSC scan and just type any token address that is present on Pancake Swap and you can use it and in order to have this swap-like functionality. Okay. So in this, if I want to search for WBNB, I will simply go for WBNB, wait for a while and I will select this. So you can see that 0x BB means 0xBB and you can see here as well that it is 0xBB. Okay. Now once we have done this, we need to import this. So let me copy it from here. So this is the address list. Now let us go to the ABI. So the first ABI that we will require is for the ERC20 token. So ERC20 ABI, and then we will again go to BSC scan, and in this we will simply go to the read contract, or not, actually we do not need to go to the read contract. We can simply search for decimals. Okay, so this will actually provide us the decimal value of the different contract addresses, token addresses basically. I will simply take this and I will simply paste it here. Then we require the router ABI. So for that, again we are on Pancake router contract, and here I will go to the contract, and from here I will select get reserve, not get reserve, actually gets amount out. And here if you will see, we have 2 gets amount out, basically this one, and we need to select this one. Okay, this amount in, and I will tell you why we are doing this. Just give me some time and I will explain you each and everything why I'm doing this what is the purpose of doing this, how I know why, like how do I know that I have to use these different ABIs. Just wait for some time and I will tell you each and everything. Now let's go to our quantity fetch.js file and I will simply import ethers, and then I will simply import all these addresses because we will require them. So I will simply copy this from here, paste it here, and then I will import all the ABIs. Okay, I need to export all these things, and I will simply copy this from here and I will paste it here. So now all the imports are done. And now what we will do is, first of all, we will create an instance of the router contract. And to create an instance, what I require is the router address, which we already have, and the router API. So we have both the API as well as the address. So we can simply create our contract instance, right? But also we require one more thing, right? And in order to create an instance, we also require a provider. So we need to define a provider here so that we can connect with the blockchain. So we will have new ethers dot providers dot JSON provider. And since each and everything is actually happening on the Binance Smart Chain, right? So I need to copy that down. So just search for Binance RPC nodes and then you will get the public RPC node. And from here, you can copy the first one out, that is BSC datac.1. So this is the RPC node. I can simply copy this. Okay, let me now copy this. Okay, so these are the different nodes. If any of the nodes is not working, just try out the different nodes that are given below, but most of the time this first one works. But if it is not working, you should try the different nodes that are present. Okay, now this is done in order to connect with the Binance Smart Chain, right? Now you must be thinking like, what is this router instance is all about, and what is this router contract is all about that I talked about, right? So basically, router contract of the Pancake Swap is responsible for the trading. So what we are going to do is we are going to know the swap information of a token, right? We will provide the address of BUSD and we will get the equivalent number of tokens of WBNB. So things like this, where trading is done or where swapping of tokens is done, we interact with the router contract. Okay, router contract is responsible for providing us with the information which is related to trading, and it actually helps us in the swapping of tokens. Okay, and this is a very important smart contract in Pancake Swap, and I will talk about another important smart contract in Pancake Swap, that is factory contract. But first of all, let us complete this tutorial and then I will talk about that. So now we have the router contract, right? We have the router instance ready, and now we can fetch the token quantities, right? So for that, I will create a function quantity fetch, which will be an async function, and inside this we will provide the human input, right? Human input as in, like we are providing the input to the input text box, right? In the Pancake Swap factory, in the Pancake Swap website, we have this input text box, right? So we are not creating the front end for now, but we are creating a function for it. So we will provide the human input inside this quantity fetch function, and then it will provide us with the equivalent number of WBNB tokens for the BUSD token. And definitely vice versa as well. You can provide the WBNB address as input and you can get the BUSD address as an output. Okay, output means when I'm saying address, I'm saying quantity, right? Quantity of token. Now, since we need to interact with the different tokens, we need to create instance for these tokens. So I will simply take token 1. I'm taking token 1 here because let's say in future, if you want to change this address to some other token address, you can have that as well, right? In place of BUSD, you want BNB, definitely you can have that address as well. So that's why I'm taking it as token 1 and token 2. So I will again do the same, new ethers contract. Now in this, I will provide the from address, ERC20 ABI and the provider, so that we can use the ERC20 ABI function, that is this decimal function. Okay, most of the time ERC20 token has a decimal value of 18, but for some tokens it might not be that. So that's why I'm fetching the decimal value so that we do not have incorrect value of the number of quantity of tokens. Okay, so I will simply copy this down, paste it. Instead of from, I will have to address. Now I can use the decimal functions of these token 1 and token 2. So decimal 1 will be await token 1 dot decimals. See, I can actually definitely I can go to their contract and I can see their decimal value. But we are programmers, right? We do everything from scratch. We do everything using coding. So that's why I'm using this coding part. Again, we can go to these different addresses or different token addresses, and I can simply go and search for the decimal value there only. But since we are programmers, I'm doing it from scratch. So let me again copy this down, again paste it, and this is the 2. Now we need to convert this value to the appropriate format. So I will do amount in ethers utils. So I'm using the utils package of ethers, parse units, and in this I will provide this human input value, and then I will provide this decimal value, and then I will convert this to string. So let me show you an output for this so that you can see what I'm trying to do here. Let me run this for now. Okay, I think we haven't made any mistakes, so let me just copy this and call this function out here. Let's check this. So I will simply do node quantity fetch .js. If everything will be correct, so we will see the value. Okay, so there is some issue. Okay, actually the problem is I haven't passed the value, right? The human input. So I must pass some value. Let's say I will pass 100 to it. Okay, so now you can see that as I was talking about the format, right? The correct format. So I have this 100, and after this 100 you can see there will be there are basically 18 decimal, like 18 places of zeros. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 and 18. Okay, so we have 18 decimal value attached to this particular human input value. Okay, so because this is in string format and I have converted in a format that we can pass to our gets amount function of the router instance. So this is the correct format because this is the decimal value for this token, right? So what I will do is I will simply do this amounts out. Now I am going to call the router instance gets amount function, and in this I will provide this input value, that is this amounts in. Okay, and we will pass an array where we will have the from address as well as the to address, and this will actually provide us with the output value for the to address. Means now what we are going to do is, or what we are actually trying to do is, we are providing the from address, that is the BUSD address, and it will then return us the quantity of WBNB tokens for which will be equivalent to the BUSD token that we have passed inside this gets amount function. So amount in is the decimal value 1, token value 1 amount, right? That's why we have taken decimal 1. Okay, and now again I need to convert this amounts out into a human value, because if I will simply paste it, let me show you console.log amounts out, run this. So you can see that the amounts out value, which is actually an array, is provided us with this big number objects. We do not want this big number object. What we want is a human value, right? So again I need to convert this amounts out into a human value. Again I will use ethers utils dot format units amounts out, and I need the index value 1 to string, and in this the decimal value will be 2 for the token number 2. And now I can simply console.log this. Okay, now let me check this whether it is working or not. Okay, so now it is working. So you can see that for 100 BUSD tokens, we will get around 0.3937 WBNP token. Let's verify this. So let me exchange this. Let me have 100 of BUSD tokens, and let's see whether the value is equal to this 0.393 or not. Let me check. And you can see that we have 0.394 here, and here the value is 0.93 because the value keeps on changing. So don't worry about it. But this is very, very, very accurate, and we are very much close to it. And again, as I said, you can take any input token here, like you can take any from address token here, and you can take any to address token here, and you can make a swap between them. Because we are not swapping there, but we can actually get the quantity of token if we are going to swap any two tokens. Okay, let's address some of the important questions that in your mind you have. That okay, how do I know that I have to write this particular this particular file only, right? You might be thinking this. So the answer to this question is that you have to read the documentation. In documentation, most of the things are given, and definitely some of the things will not be given. Then you need to figure it out by doing a lot of Google. Like in this particular case, as you can see, like we have this gets amount function, right? So if you will go to Pancake Swap, you can find this gets amount function here. You can go to the contract, you can go to the read contract. Okay, because we are doing the read functionality, that's why we do not need to connect our MetaMask wallet or any private key need to be shared there. We can simply go to read contract, and here you can see the gets amount function. This is what we have used, right? So let me tell you how I got to know all these things. So you have to just read the documentation of these different I will say different decentralized exchanges. Okay, and definitely you will not get all the information at one place. Sometimes you will get bits of information, and then you need to connect all the dots together by acquiring all these information. So you can see that we have this gets amount function here. We have the different functions here. And you can see that for explanation, you have to go to Uniswap v2 internal functionation, because the reason is Pancake Swap is a fork of Uniswap v2. So that's why most of the function that you are seeing here are just like your Uniswap only. Okay, I think they have removed this documentation. There is some problem here, but that's not an issue. You can see that each and everything is given on their documentation. And apart from that, you need to read these different contracts. So as you can see, currently I'm at router v2, right? And you have this contract that is present here. You can just do some hit and trial. You can see that we have this gets amount function here, gets amount function here. You can check the just do some hit and trial tests here, nothing else. Like you can go for the right contract. You can actually see the code as well, that you have to just go to the code and you can read. Actually reading it, like I will not say that reading this contract is that much easy, but definitely you will get an idea that is what actually is going on. If you get that particular idea, the flow of the contract, you will be able to do such kind of things. And don't worry, we are going to cover a lot. This is just our first step in our programming journey of DeFi. And as we will go on, we will do some more complicated stuffs like flash loan smart contract, how to do cross-chain arbitrage and all these things, but that will be in the upcoming videos. But I want to demonstrate you with all these things. These are the small things, but these are the fundamental part of your DeFi journey. So with this, we have completed the video for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Meet you soon in the next video.